I'm Bob Gale, our
Yeah.
producer, co-writer.
That voice
Yeah,
is
Bob Zemeckis, director.
and Kurt Russell. Friend of Bob Gale and
Yeah,
Bob
what did you do in this
Zemeckis
card?
I remember the first time you guys actually. I remember the time you came up to Canada.
Calgary, right?
Was
Amber
Calgary. I
Waves
was
you were
working-
shooting.
Yeah, and you guys wanted to meet me because all you'd seen was Elvis, I guess, right?
And those Disney movies that you did.
Yeah, right. Which was, of course, oh, hey, there's our guy. Yeah, because I always thought after this, I always figured, well, if they'd have done this with Bill Murray, it would have been a big hit.
It probably would have been, Kurt. Probably would have been. It was our mistake. We shot this in Mesa, Arizona, suburb of Phoenix, and this is the Charles Darner Chrysler Plymouth lot. He had a used car. Actually, this was an empty lot across the street from his real lot, which is the Royal Fuchs lot across the street.
This is the days. This is the days when we used to watch the side view mirror. You'll see the microphone.
Where? Wait a minute.
Right there.
There it
See,
is.
there's the sound there.
First shot.
Yeah,
First
right.
shot of the
But those
movie.
are the days when we got to do these big shots all on the camera. I mean, it's a pretty good shot. It's a pretty good shot for the budget we had.
Weren't you? I think you were talking to me here too because I had
Oh
no idea. I
yeah,
was totally blind.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, walk it out. I mean, look at this shot. This is a big shot.
Yeah.
And you'll see here where we ended up having this. You'll see it skip print here. We had to make it into
Because
an
we couldn't
optical.
couldn't get in. The camera couldn't get into the odometer
fast
fast enough,
enough,
so we did
right.
turn it into an optical. That's right.
But that's a pretty tech.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
There
it's
it
coming
goes.
in there deep.
Yeah.
Was this the first day of shooting? I don't remember.
Nah, I
This
don't
was
even
somewhere
remember what
down
the first day of
I
shooting
don't either. I
was.
was going to say. What
I'm
was
sure it wouldn't have been this. You never do your first day of shooting
No, I
a
think,
difficult shot
I
like
think
this.
the first day of shooting was the stuff coming up here now. Was Kurt.
Fishing across the street.
Yeah, like putting the signs on the cars and stuff like that. This is definitely the first week of shooting right in here.
It's great to see these names again because, like we were saying earlier, I have never seen this movie top to bottom since we did it. Because that's another thing. You just don't ever do that, right? I mean, you finish the movie, you see the cut, you see the cut version, and you don't ever get to see the final. You guys are so sick of it by that time.
Exactly.
We are. Some kind of nirvana sets in where you can just watch the movie over and over again, and then after you're done with it, you never want to see it again.
I kind of remember this day. I was thinking, oh, this gum thing is really. There's no way that it's believable that the gum would hold it. I'm saying, Kurt, go with it. don't do that.
We actually did research. A guy that we knew in college, Alan Tonkin. His father owned the biggest Ford dealership in Portland, Oregon.
Ron Tonkin. I was out there playing baseball. Ron Tonkin had a
Yeah.
Ron Tonkin Ford or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly. So
Yeah.
we went up and hung out with the guys at this car lot, and they told us all kinds of great stories, most of which we couldn't put in the movie because they were pretty X-rated. And today, if we did it again, we could.
Steven Spielberg. I remember him being on the set.
Yeah.
The whole idea of this actually was back when Bob and I were writing the script for 1941, and back in 1975, Milius told us this story that he and Spielberg wanted to do someday about used car salesmen outside of Las Vegas. He wanted to put George Hamilton in it, Kurt.
There's another good choice.
Would you buy a used car
There's
from
another-
this man? Yeah.
But it's great that we got Jack Warden in the movie because Jack is such a great actor. I mean, and
What was interesting is when we first had the script written and we were casting it, the part of the two brothers, they were going to be separate parts, and Jack Warden turned it down to play Roy Fuchs. But then I forget who it was that said, well, "Why don't you make him the same guy?" Because an actor always wants to play two parts in the same movie. So we went back to Warden and we said, "How'd you like to do it if you played both guys?"
And he said, "Yeah."
He said, "Yeah."
Alfonso.
Alfonso
Arrau. He was
He's a director now,
Yeah, he's like a really successful director.
like water for chocolate. And here he is scratching his balls.
So now, Jack, this was also Jack's first. This was Jack Warden's first R-rated movie. You said?
His first R-rated movie, and he had such a great time saying "fucking shit" and
well, there's a scene coming up where I learned my lesson about letting actors swear because
oh wait, we got to
they
talk
like
about
to
this guy here.
outswear them.
This car salesman on the lot there in the leisure suit, Don Ruskin. He's a real car salesman, and he auditioned for Steven Spielberg in the parking lot at Todd A.O. when Steven was mixing 1941 or Close Encounters. I forget what it was.
And here comes one of the
most
nicest.
obnoxious guy in the world.
And then here goes one of the nicest people in the world, Frank. He was great. He was just a great guy. We had so much fun. I remember one day when Boston was born, right after this, he could hold him literally in one hand. I haven't seen Frank for a while. He was a really cool guy.
Now, a little later, we'll have to tell the story of the real Jim the Mechanic, the character that this guy is actually based
Yeah, see, I've
on.
never heard any of that stuff where you guys drew these people from. Rudy Russo, I don't know where did you guys? What made you come up with that character?
What, Rudy Russo?
Yeah.
You mean the name or the character?
No, the guy. I mean,
Oh, this is just like now that it's like
This is the
this is the
quintessential
stuff that
car salesman.
Yeah, but this is the
character
stuff that the what we wanted to do with this movie is we wanted to do. Rudy Russo is Jimmy Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life, except that he's totally corrupt.
Can you get Kurt Russell?
No,
Good
it's
idea.
like, well, yeah, but no, he's got
now
all
I
the same.
get it.
He's got all the same. This movie is structured on a classic Frank Capra movie, except that everybody lies,
Now,
and that's the premise. And that's the
and one of
premise
the
of
great
the movie.
when Spielberg read the first draft of the script, and the idea was that this guy wanted to be a corrupt politician so that he could get graft. Stephen was. He was appalled at the idea that politicians could be corrupt.
Well, he didn't like the line in there where we say that the president lies. And we say, so-
No, we didn't. We don't know anything else. Bob's from Chicago, most corrupt city in the country, and I'm from Missouri. The state politics there aren't any better.
so what did you take? Did you just take a bunch of used car stuff that you signed, threw into one character and said,
this
okay, this is what our guy's gonna be?
no, the Rudy Russo character is a classic American character. He believes in the American dream. He does everything. He does everything that we are expected to do to get ahead in this country, except there's one little thing that there's one missing thing, and that is that he doesn't
A moral compass.
he has no
problem with
moral
that.
compass. He has no moral compass, but he's a dreamer, and he's got all of he's ambitious, and he's charming, and he's all this great stuff. So he's a classic American character. And this is actually the characters in this movie prove the Hitchcock premise that you'll love a character if he's good at his job.
That's right. That's why everybody loves Darth Vader. He's good at his
He's
job.
good at what he does.
That's right. So it doesn't matter whether you're a dishonest car salesman or a jewel thief, as long as you're good at your job.
And you take
the
it
audience
seriously, and you
yeah.
really want to do the best you can. That's a trait that everybody likes.
All these people
be the
that
best that
came
you
in.
can be.
I love these the actors in this movie that came in and would do stuff like this. They just were fabulous. I mean, they were always. That was my first experience with in terms of comedy. I remember when we were rehearsing and stuff, talking about Second City and I was watching for the first time in my life sort of the anatomy of a comedy, how you break it down, how a joke is made, and what makes something funny. And it was interesting, all the people that you guys knew,
Right.
And that where were you drawing from? Where were you drawing your? I mean, how
Casting director would bring him in. Sometimes other actors would say, "Hey, you got to meet." You got to meet so and so from Second City.
Well, Joe Flaherty's from Second City,
Flaherty's
right
from
here.
Second
This guy,
City.
Joe Flaherty, he's from Second City.
Michael Talbot, who plays Mickey, he came in on another show on "I Want to Hold Your Hand" to read for it. He's totally wrong, but we remembered him and we said, we got to write a part for this guy.
And Joe was going to be Joe's character was going to be played by
John Candy was originally cast in this part.
You got to.
And
Bob,
we
you
actually
gotta
had
tell us
we
that.
actually had John Candy in there rehearsing and wardrobe fitting, and I get this call from a producer. I can't even remember what the name of the movie is. It says, "So John Candy's doing your movie?" I said, "Yeah."
Oh, I forgot all that.
He's in my movie. You guys can't use him. He's already booked in my
His
movie.
agent double booked him.
His agent double booked him, and I called his agent. I said, "What the hell are you trying to do here?" He said, "Oh, I just figured you producers would work it out." And I said, "Well, we're not working it out. Get him out of here. I can't. We can't do this." So that's why it's Joe Flaherty and not John Candy.
That's right.
John told me later he was kind of glad he wasn't doing it because he never thought he could keep a straight face in a courtroom scene playing it with Al Lewis.
That's right.
Grandpa Munster.
Yeah, Billy Myatt and Kenny. Those were our effects guys on. They used them later on Romancing the Stone, and we had really good physical effects in this
I was
show.
just looking at the makeup and trying to remember who did this because he did a great job.
Yeah, I forget who did the makeup.
Jack Petty did Jack
You-
Warden's makeup.
He's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did yours on this show or not, Kurt, but I know that was one of he'd done Warden on a lot that shows, and
Let's see, that
he and Jack were real close.
It was 20 years ago.
Jack Warden, by the way, going back to him doing this part, he told us that there were 3 things that any actor wants to do, and this movie had 2 of them. One of them is play drunk, one of them is play dead, and the other one is play 2 or more parts in the same movie. So we got.
Here's one of my coming up is one of my favorite readings that Kurt did in this. I don't know where we are in the scene here. I got to listen here, but it's like I knew Kurt had it down when.
Talking about politics?
No, this line where he says, that line right there. See, you just got the essence of that. Just throw it away, It's like
It's just another day, man. I just want to go.
It's great.
This probably was. I mean, people ask me all the time. They say because the used cars is a picture that people who've seen used cars and like used cars. It's a cult movie. They love it.
Right.
But it's people who ask me about this movie, and ask me about what was it like, and I really do look back on it, and it in so many ways was so much fun.
Right.
You guys were a blast, and the people in the movie were a blast. But there was an atmosphere to this movie.
Oh, it just was. But this dog, I think this is the best movie dog I ever worked with.
Yeah,
this dog was great. Although he's
not a poser.
He wasn't a friendly little dog, but man, he worked. I mean, he does some great stuff in this. He does some great stuff.
It's a double dog that actually pisses on Frank
It's
McRae's
not the same
face later on. Yeah.
Right. But that dog was great. Yeah, that's right. But
yeah, it took the trainer. He was like working on it for 2 months to get him to do that screwdriver gag.
But yeah, this was.
Where were we? We were in.
we were in Arizona.
What was the town?
Mesa, Arizona.
We're staying at the Holiday Inn in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah,
that's where everybody was hanging out.
This whole movie for me was like a blur because I just.
Were you part of the crew that was zonked on?
No. I didn't know all that was happening. I didn't know
either. I mean, that's news to me.
I never know whatever. I never know when I'm directing a movie. I never know who's sleeping with who or who's doing
cranking.
You're right. I don't know. The director's the last one to find out anything that's going on.
Well, you usually hear that shit in the makeup trailer too. It's like
that's why I never go in the makeup trailer.
I never pick up on it.
That's all right. I hate going in the makeup trailer. It scares me in there.
You don't
I never go. I feel like I'm going.
You're walking in there. All you hear is God, Bob. I don't.
Oh no! I want everybody to know I'm coming 50 yards away before I walk in the makeup trailer. I don't want to hear. I want to hear bad shit that they're saying about me.
Francois Truffaut once said that your second movie is always a direct reaction to your first movie. And that's truly the case here, because the first movie Bob and I did was I Want to Hold Your Hand, which was a nice, sweet little movie. Didn't make any money at the box office. Yeah. So we decided that for our next movie, we wanted to go 180 degrees and be as raunchy and socially irresponsible.
Right. This is the only R-rated movie I've ever made so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, this is.
What's the matter with you, Bob?
Yeah, well, but I mean,
what happened to you, babe?
I mean,
we can fix that.
But the thing is that this movie never really had a chance because it was never really released in the entire country.
No, this
was totally botched by the guys who were running the studio
department. And the reason it was botched was because our sneak preview went so well. We had a sneak preview in, I think it was in Dallas, Texas, and it was like the highest scores in the history of Columbia Pictures at that time. So they said, we got to get this out. These are like Smokey and the Bandit numbers. We got to get this movie out as quick as possible because it was supposed to come out towards the end of August of 1980. And they said, we're going to move it up to July. They didn't have a campaign, and they didn't have a release schedule or anything. So they released it 1 week after the movie Airplane came out. So everybody was going to see Airplane, and we were only in half of the country, and we didn't have an ad campaign that was any good. And so because it tanked in half the country, the other half of the country didn't even want to take it.
It was it was a tough movie to promote, I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's not an easy picture to promote. And I remember reading a review at that time saying that this guy had gone to the movie theater, and he was going to choose something, and he'd heard that Airplane was like a scream fest, so he went into it, and at the other theater was a movie called Used Cars playing, and the review was about how he'd gone to both movies and how there were twice as many laughs in Airplane as there were in Used Cars, but the laughs in Used Cars were twice as good. And I remember reading that review and thinking, that's great. Because nobody cares about that.
Right.
If you're going to a comedy, I just want to laugh more times.
Right.
But I do remember this movie really did suffer because it came out after, and there were no comedies before Airplane for a long time.
That's right. Now this actor,
here's
Michael
Mickey.
Talbot, he had a most unique approach to trying to pick up girls. I remember he'd go.
He was living with Brian Denny in that apartment up there, yeah.
But no, at the hotel, he'd go in the bar at night and he'd walk up to a girl and he'd say, any of you girls want to have sex with me right now? And we're going, Michael, you're never going to pick up a girl that way. He said, all I have to do is get one to say yes, and then I'm laid.
Now this is where I started getting bold as a director. I remember this was the first scene I ever did, this long dolly shot without covering it, just relying on the actors to be able to hit their marks and stay their lines and was
that because you were crunched for time or?
Well, I never trusted anything or anybody. I always had to cover stuff because I didn't know if if you do a whole shot, what if the timing, what if you have to tighten it up, or what if the actors screw up a line or something like that. I always had to be covered. But then, so now this is all I ever do.
Well, it helps to have an actor like Jack Warden.
Of course it does.
Warden had a great theory.
I was going to say you can't miss.
You remember Warden talking about his theory about acting? Because Garrett Graham had this habit of talking real slow. Because he thought the slower he talked,
had a few habits.
He had a lot of bad habits.
Right.
But he'd talk real slow, thinking that a lot of actors do this, thinking that the longer I take to say my lines, the more time I'll be on screen.
Right.
And Warden pulls him aside one day and he says, "Kid, you're fucking yourself up here."
Right.
He says, "You're fucking it up.
Right.
What you got to do is say your lines as fast as possible, because then they won't be able to get the scissors in and cut anything out."
That's right.
And I don't think we cut anything of Jack Warden out of this movie at all.
No, Jack is a great classic movie actor. All he ever asked me is, he just said, "I just want to know what lens you got on the camera." And I thought, oh no, what does that mean? He's gonna want to he's gonna start moving in on my directorial territory. And he said no, because he said, if you tell me you got a 17 on the lens, I'll do a reaction that's big like this. If you got a 50 on it, I'll do a reaction that's half that. What great technical acting! It's so great.
Look at that! That was a great insert there. Now there's an old timer. There was a pretty simple insert. I want a red light flashing.
Oh yeah, that's how you have to make these things work.
The stunt driver that did this was a guy named Steve Boyum, who was one of the cocaine kids on this show. We found out later. He took this stunt about 3 times as fast as he was supposed to.
We're lucky we didn't kill somebody on this show.
This was really.
See, this is the stuff I was always back home with Season, who was pregnant with Boston. I was always back home for this. I wasn't around for this stuff.
There's a stunt coming up here where he jumps over this.
Yeah, where he flips the car over.
Well, that's Terry Leonard.
Do that? Yeah.
Terry Leonard
No,
did that
Steve
one.
Boyum did that.
No, it was Terry Leonard.
Boyum came out of that car and said, "I'm sorry, Bob. I wasn't supposed to take it that fast.
I know
I'm
it got
sorry."
closer to the camera than it was supposed to.
No. This one
just
here was this one. Look at this.
Here.
Oh, that was Terry. Yeah, you're right.
No, that wasn't Terry.
Oh, you can probably slow it down.
No, Terry rolled this car.
We need to get Terry Leonard in here. Steve,
I'll never. No, wait. I'll tell you why.
You remember?
I'll tell you here. Watch this. Watch, because we almost killed a camera operator. Watch, look, there's the camera.
There's the camera in that black thing.
Now, and at the last minute, Terry called me over and said,
"Get him out of there.
Take that operator off that camera." And man, oh man, was that a lot? That was my first camera I sent back to Panavision in a shoebox. It was in 1,000 pieces.
So who flipped the car?
Oh, wait, I got to stop right here, because here's what Terry Leonard did. But this is one of the classic scenes that Bob and I ever wrote, and you and Jack and this whole cast. I mean, watch this. This is perfect timing on
Andrew
I don't
Duncan.
remember this actor's
Andrew
name.
Duncan.
Andrew Duncan.
He's so good.
This is like so. This is like this is a great.
And
$50 never killed.
Which goes to prove that this scene proves it.
Look at Jack.
Comedy is all about reactions. It's all about reacting.
And Jack. Oh man.
But you got to watch, because Jack kept asking me, he says, but Jack was great because he always asked me before he did something. Now watch this. When Andrew pulls the money out in his death throes, watch Jack. He grabs it out of his hand.
Once a car salesman, always a car salesman.
This is being beat to death. Oh, this is great. Oh, and Garrett. Oh, yeah.
Now, Jack told me that he said, because the one time I asked him, I said, Jack, I'm so, I'm like so thrilled that you did this movie. And he said, hey, Bob, every actor always wants to play dead. And I said, oh yeah, that's true. Anytime an actor can play a corpse, I jump at the chance.
That's it. That's what he said.
I love this storytelling stuff.
And Jack, look how great he played dead. I mean, look at it. He's just so great.
There he is. Oh God.
Yeah.
See, now this is kind of, if we had the technology then to do to put the same actor in the shot twice, we probably would have wasted a whole lot of time doing it.
Oh yeah.
But we don't need to do that.
Cinema.
It's just cinema. That's right.
Yeah, cinema.
That's right. Yeah. we had to cover a TV version of this so the movie could run on TV, and I know he said cheese and rice instead of Jesus Christ. Old Catholic.
Yeah, Garrett had good days, and he could be on nudge, man. He could just drive you crazy.
Yeah.
The reason that this movie ended up being made at Columbia Pictures, by the way, is we originally wrote it at Universal. And they passed on it, and we took it over to Columbia because Spielberg was. They were the other studio involved in 1941, which was in production at the time, and Frank Price, who was the head of the studio, had once sold cars for a living. When he was a young man, so as soon as he read the script, he got it instantly, and he said, "Go
Too close to home."
No, he said, "I get this. Make the movie, guys. Make the movie."
I was just looking at Garrett, and I was remembering. Remember, he what was it? He went on and on about the Winnebago.
Oh
His
yeah.
bagel.
Oh,
no, my bagel. Gotta have my bagel.
Yeah.
Back to my bagel.
I'll be bagelizing.
Bagelizing.
Now look.
He didn't have the Winnebago he wanted. I remember at the end of the movie, I found.
He wasn't even supposed to get one.
I found a little
one,
toy
right.
die-cast Winnebagos. Right. He was all over that.
So coming up is
Look at Jack here.
yeah.
He is so good here.
I know. He just did it.
Here's a Zemeckis trademark: lightning.
Oh yeah.
It always has to be lightning in a Bob Zemeckis movie.
And the next one coming up too is scenes of death and burial. In every one of my movies, there's an image of death. So, but this is one of my favorite scenes. This one here, I think this is one of my favorite scenes. I love this argument that you guys did right here. I love the fact that they start arguing about whether the car can run or not. This is like so great.
Nobody's gonna buy this.
Now watch what Jack does here when he closes the door. This is pure. This is pure Jack coming up. Oh, it's at the very end, but this is great here. But watch great Jack is. Watch this shot.
He moved himself.
Rolls in the window.
He moves himself just so he can do that. Oh man.
This is sort of our John Ford scene here.
Oh yeah. Well, that's right. It's like I said, it's a classic. I mean, they're saying they're sending him off and with his his final respect.
They're doing the absolute best thing.
No, this is definitely a combination of Frank Capra and John Ford. With just a little bit of a twist.
Turned upside down and sideways and inside out a little bit there.
What I love is this is where the movie starts to shift into second gear, third gear.
Yeah.
It really, just about. I mean, it takes a certain audience from this point on.
Yeah, you got to go. You go with it, or
you're either going now or you're
walk
like,
out.
That's right.
Walk
That's
out
right.
of the theater.
If you can make it, if you're still in the theater when you get through this scene, you say, okay, I'm ready. I'm buckled up.
This is where the guy jumps in the toilet in Trainspotting, right into the toilet. I'm either going on this ride or I'm not.
That's right. But Yeah, no, this was all these are physical.
Oh, this was a
effects.
one-time deal. I remember
These
this.
things work.
We
These
could do
things,
this
these
one-
things work
yes,
like a
one
charm.
shot.
They're
Yeah,
great.
one time we said we got to get this right.
You know. Now this scene coming up. Now this scene coming up. This is where I learned something as a director, and that is, well, first of all, let me say this: there were no lines for Garrett here. Okay, and Garrett insisted on having lines. So in the heat of the day of trying to get the scene done, I just let him start to repeat everything that Kurt said, right? And that pissed Jack off so much that he wrote the editorial button at the end of this scene.
It pissed me off, but I didn't say anything. I just said, well, fuck it, Graham, go ahead. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here, fuck it. Here, play Rudy. Play Rudy and Jack.
right.
Go, Garrett, go.
That's right. But this is where I learned not to let actors swear because they like to outswear each other. So
But it's great though.
But everybody in this scene is outswearing the other actor.
That thing runs like new. Brand new. It's amazing. Bullshit, Russo. I saw what happened. He had a stroke. I saw him hit the floor. Hit the floor? Well, last night? Well, he slipped on some 90 weight. I believe me. He's okay, Roy. Lying, Sam. The son of a bitch is lying. Thinks I'm lying, Jim.
We actually got a note from the studio that there was too much swearing in the movie.
After I saw dailies this day. Here we go.
Do we have to call the cops? What are you, a fucking
Jack just got so mad he said that. I left it in the movie.
There goes, no, that's the double dog.
Yeah, no, that dog was great.
He was.
out of your fucking mind? You got a sick bag buried right here.
It was everything. I mean, it was really fun because you guys were great. You were a blast, but you were not anywhere near as confident as you are now.
Oh no!
So
of
you
course
just
not.
so this thing was a little on the edge.
we were-
It was like, well, is this going to be all right?
We didn't know what the hell we were doing. And, and what
we had crew members sabotaging us, telling the studio we were out of control. We had our people who are watching the money, like causing the money to disappear. We were like
yeah.
way over.
there was all kinds of stealing
There was
going on.
so
this.
much stuff got stolen off this movie.
Oh,
it
did
was
it
like,
really?
Oh, yeah.
There's good
cars-
stuff out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now this, guys,
This is-
we
okay, here we go.
stole.
Okay.
That is a full stadium.
We
This
just
was
set up in there and we stole
all
that
those
shot.
cars were
It's
cars.
ASU, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
those
ASU in
cars were
Tempe,
parked
right.
there to see the football game,
Yeah.
and we just
just went in there
timed
and
to
we
go in
shot
there and
this.
Yeah.
shoot
I remember that.
because we couldn't afford to get that many cars.
And then we got Squiggy and
Lenny and
Lenny
Squiggy, they were
here.
real happy to do something that they hadn't been doing before. And the girl there, Cheryl Rickson. she
Cheryl
was a-
Rickson.
Okay, so here's the here are the famous dildo dick nose
No,
glasses.
no, yeah, right.
Well, we got to watch.
Originally-
You watch the ones in Kurt's hand are the originals.
Yeah.
This is where the studio made us go back and
when we were
reshoot.
the prop guy brought us these penis nose glasses when
Right,
we were
which
looking at
nobody
props.
had ever seen at
We'd
that
never
point.
seen these before, and we said, "Shit, we got to use these." So we shot this whole scene where they were using these
Mr. Dick
Dick Nose glasses, what we call them. And the studio saw these dailies, and they were appalled, and they made us reshoot the whole thing.
But if you look close, I didn't reshoot Kurt's side. So when Kurt uses the ones that he has in his hands coming up are those are the original ones. That footage might be somewhere. Let's dig that footage out and put it
I
on
don't
as a
know. They
You can
bonus.
redo that. Yeah, now you
Put it on as a bonus thing.
You could see the scene as it originally was meant to be seen.
This red car business, by the way, is a superstition that we made up. Bob and I always like to invent folklore. And
Here, now look
worked.
close
All
at
right,
these
let's
here.
see if
Here,
these
you
are
can
the
see.
right
Get a,
ones.
yeah,
that's it. That's it. Now suddenly it's going to be a different set of glasses.
So I only reshot those two there, that side there.
The studio never caught on.
No, well.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Or else we wouldn't have anything to talk about here.
But that was a tough
Garrett's
night. 'cause
great here. I think Garrett was
yeah,
really
no,
funny
oh,
in this
he's
scene.
really
He was
great.
so great here. Look at there, you can really see him there.
Like he's really upset that he's
Yeah,
got to
he's
wear
really-
these.
come on, man, we're gonna be a couple of
he's
assholes.
really,
Well, he was-
oh, he got the character completely.
He was
really upset
good.
that we had to shoot the scene again.
And there's no reason for us to be counting the scene down to the
Yeah.
football game. We just did it to build fake suspense.
But it worked.
Yeah.
God, it's a red car.
Now, the reaction shots that are coming up here, we ended up shooting these much later after we put the film together. and the scene without these reaction shots is nowhere near as funny. Our film editors, I think, was the one who suggested that that's what we needed to do to make the scene really.
Have civilians.
Well,
learn
yeah,
that the
because
scene-
comedy is about reactions.
Yeah.
It's
Well, the reactions trigger the reactions. I learned trigger the laugh in the audience. You see, the audience laughs at the reaction.
Yeah. Because
they don't
relate,
laugh at-
they
don't laugh
relate
at
to
the
that.
gag.
Right, exactly.
It gives them permission to laugh.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because they don't want to miss the next gag, or because they don't get it. No, it's got to be because they
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
miss the next thing.
Part of it is, I guess, the same reason why you have a laugh track on a TV
Yeah.
show.
Well, I think it's because I think what the reaction does is it validates the humor as
Yeah.
truth, and
Go ahead and laugh.
we only ever laugh at things that are true, and that's what it does.
Yeah, go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and laugh.
Right,
It's true.
exactly. See, this
Cheryl
is
Rickson, she was built, man. She was.
She was.
I remember I think this is one of those nights that and Season's like 8 months pregnant at this time. It's like, yeah, I want to come down and watch that scene be shot. Oh my God, divorce is in the air. It's just, and I felt like this guy, just kind of peeking at her over the side of my shoulder.
I remember when Cheryl.
Jesus, Palomino! Where did he come up with that?
that was a Milius thing that they used to do in
man.
Milius movies.
Yeah.
Jesus, Palomino!
Yeah, they used to. We said that Warren Oates said that in 1941.
Oh man, that's a
I
good
think
one.
that's right. Yeah.
You know,
That's
Yeah.
right.
Toby.
See, now this is where I learned how to do stuff and just let the actors act. Just let the camera follow them around.
Hey Bob,
know?
did you have Heckle and Jekyll
Yeah,
in your
that's-
mind, or was that? I don't remember. Was that in the script, or was that
Yeah,
just
it
something
was,
you said? I had
we
to have Heckle?
decided that it had to be Heckle. Well, it was Columbia. We knew
Yeah.
it would be easier to get something that was Columbia, and
Right.
there was nothing with.
There's no greater
more socially reprehensible as Heckle and
Right.
Jekyll.
Heckle
so-
and Jekyll are exactly what these guys. That would be their favorite cartoon.
Bam.
Well, the other thing you got to really pay attention to, the other great thing you watch these scenes coming up, you got all the characters always littered. Remember, we did
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
consciously.
Yeah, well,
just throw stuff on the ground.
And I remember,
No
you,
one
and I,
ever-
remember you and I. We did this two ways because we said, okay. I said to you, I said, look, I can do this with an Irish accent, with a thing. I can do it with an accent as well as saying the name thing. And we looked at, we said, is that really disgusting or not? And we said, well, let's do it. Let's see. And you decided to go with that one. I remember you.
Oh yeah,
you
no,
said-
it was great.
Yeah.
It worked out great.
I just noticed something else. Lopez, do you realize?
In the early versions of the script, we had so many scenes of these guys selling cars. That was the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We must have cut out 20 pages of gags.
Now,
Oh, he's funny.
now, well, this is Frank pulls this. Frank does this great. But one of the classic scenes of the movie is coming up, the one with Garrett and the dog.
Yeah.
And that just, that worked great.
Yeah.
I mean, that just the audience to see this movie in a theater.
Oh man.
When that scene, the two moments are the one where Jack comes in with the heart attack and the dead dog and the dog scene coming up. The audience, you have to pull them off the ceiling. It's kind of a shame that most of the world only sees this movie on television because to see this in a theater.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah,
It is. It really is. Especially the stuff at the end.
Oh,
I mean, the
yeah.
stuff at the end is really meant for the big
Yeah,
screen.
Frank-
it looks good. It
Frank
plays
did
great.
this
Frank,
great.
there he goes.
We never took off that hat.
Here we go.
Now there's a kid. See this kid in the car there? See this kid?
He driving behind
This
the wheel.
kid was like hypoglycemic. And the joke was, so somebody, I
joke
guess
was,
I said,
you wouldn't- yeah, don't
no,
feed him.
I said, put like smear some chocolate candy on the kid's mouth. So the AD kept just giving this kid Hershey bar after Hershey bar, and this kid was so out of control. And then why he's on top of the car now. Wait, it's not at one point in the movie, during the middle of a shot, he just started running down the field. He ran about 500 yards. We had to go chase him. He just took off running.
Half the crew's on cocaine, and that kid's higher than any of them. Oh my God! Oh, look at this! Oh, I remember this guy, Al, Big Al. He was great.
I mean, the
Claude-
audience
Claude
is just,
Jones, yeah.
you know, this is like,
Look at, oh, there you go. He
this
does
is like such a great, setup. That dog was so great.
Al. I like the way Garrett uses his fist. Yeah, really. Punch.
Yeah, right.
I don't want you to be afraid of it. I want you to feel that pickup. So just go right ahead.
And then you gotta, and then you, but now see, this is where you see Garrett is really brilliant. Like watch, now watch this reaction. Now wait, now this next one here is so great. Like he just plays it perfectly. It's just great. Just checking to make sure the gag's working.
We did have to sedate the dog here. There's no dog can play dead this well.
I know.
Look at his tongue's hanging out.
hanging out. Yeah, that's-
I forgot. I don't even want to
The
remember.
Humane Society is down on you.
Yeah, no, we had a Humane Society person there the whole time.
it was
we didn't
totally
hurt the
kosher.
dog.
We weren't
He
gonna
was
hurt that
fine.
dog.
We had vets there. We had everybody there.
Yeah, right.
No, we did.
We did.
We did.
We did. The last thing we want. We like dogs. Kurt.
Where's that kid now? That kid that you had to get him off the set by this time.
I think he's gone.
Get
by
him
the time
out of here.
he
He's
just
running down the
disappeared.
street.
We figured we never miss him.
These kids in the football jerseys with the padding on, which we put the
were
padding on. They were the stuntman's kids.
Stuntman's kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Yeah, but,
we
you
knew
know,
we
I
wanted
would
them
never,
to fall
I
out.
would never do
look
this.
at this.
This is why we had them all padded up.
How insane was it to drop 2 kids out of a car?
Oh man.
I mean, I'd never do that again.
I guess those days are gone.
Oh, they.
Well, how about the
I don't know,
stuff
they
that we
do
did
that
at the
stuff
end of
in
the
China.
movie? Some of that stuff at the end of the movie. I mean,
It was
completely
like
crazy to get up on the
completely
car, running
crazy.
around and that stuff.
Oh, completely crazy. I mean, it's like I said earlier. It's lucky we didn't kill somebody on this movie. It's like God. But
Joe Flaherty's funny too, man. Flaherty's daughter's funny. Gudrun.
The wardrobe. I love the wardrobe here with all these leisure suits. This was
yeah,
the
yeah.
height of the leisure suit.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I think they were on their way out. And
oh
that's
yeah,
why we
they
wanted
were
to make
like
sure
a
that all
little
these
bit.
guys
Yeah,
were
they were a little
wearing
bit
this stuff.
behind. Yeah, but you know.
Oh, this is great. This is a great show.
But this is
This is great. Yeah.
yeah. This is just gimmick.
And Jack just threw in this line about the camel shitting on the line.
This
This stuff is.
this stuff is great.
The name Royal Fuchs, of course, is short for corruption of royal fuck. And the way that the H is on the sign made it look like a K.
I'll never forget this. We were talking, Bob and I were talking about this next scene coming up, and Bob he said, this is really simple. You are drunk with power. This is Rudy drunk with power. What would you do, Rudy, if you could do anything? Rudy, this is on top of it.
Now, one
We're
of you
going
said,
all out. These girls.
the girl that Kurt is with there is Betty
That
Thomas.
girl you just saw, that was our script supervisor.
This is
So
Betty
we had-
Thomas here
We had a script supervisor who
from
just
Hill
wanted
Street
to take
Blues,
our
and she's a
clothes.
director. She directed Dr. Dolittle, right?
Betty's great. She was so damn funny too. She made me laugh. She was great. Oh my God.
You want to talk about the casting session for these girls, Bob?
Oh man.
Oh, gosh.
And then everybody, of course, is running across the street now.
Yeah, actually, our script supervisor, all she wanted to do was take off her clothes in the scene. It was like, I'll do this movie, but you have to let me be one of the girls in the car.
Okay.
And she wasn't that good looking anyway.
She wasn't a very good script girl, but she was great on the car.
She wasn't really good at either one.
Which one is he? One of these girls had
No,
a
we cut her
world
basically.
class.
You just see
I
her
think it was
in
this
the
girl.
wide shot because she wasn't any good.
Oh man, this is good here.
I think it was when we were filming this, some guy.
Now here's one. Watch this. Here's where we missed the stunt.
Right there.
There was like I couldn't believe what lousy camera operating. It was like
It was off camera left.
It was off camera
You
left.
just got a little piece of it. Well, use it.
We had
it's
some
like-
guy on a
Those were the days
motorcycle.
before monitors. I didn't know what the camera operators were
We had
doing.
some civilian on a motorcycle who was dead drunk. You remember this?
Yeah, I
He
know.
came careening down
yeah,
the
yeah,
street
yeah,
and he
yeah, yeah.
crashed in.
Yeah.
Are you guys filming a movie here? And he was so drunk that he didn't get hurt.
He didn't know. No.
No, well, how nuts was it
lawsuit.
though that we decided to build that set across a major highway?
It was insane.
It was insane. Now, here's what I love. Like when you come out of the car, the little stuff we did, Kurt, like just litter. Just what do we do with this beer can? We'll just throw it on the ground. You know, it's like
This is and what I love is this is the as serious as this movie can get, as straight, as simple, as serious, and isn't there a chart here somewhere?
Yeah.
oh yeah, I
Right,
know.
right
It's
over
like,
there. There's
oh,
a
yeah,
thermometer.
everybody
This is
knows.
just
that
all
you're filling in issue.
all
this
about
is a
your
man-
building story
this
here. I
is a
love
man
this
in
guy.
his dream.
This is the celery. This is
Man in his dream. But you know
who
what?
would look behind the
But
celery?
you know want to know something? We weren't far off.
No.
Because we actually had a president that
Same. Right.
came from the same
we
roots
just had
as
it.
this guy. 20 years later.
That's right. Who knows? Maybe Clinton saw this
mean, we
movie.
were
And
far
that's how
off.
we got
Look
the
at
idea.
that.
This is how he did it.
This is how
too.
Bill Clinton got started. This is where's Hillary? Where are we? I love this. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my personal favorites. As you go over and take a look at Elvis.
Oh yeah.
Let's turn Elvis on and yeah, babe. Oh God.
But you know the other thing that we're doing here is like this was like this is Bob and I were use this new technology, these phone machines to
Yeah,
become
right.
plot points.
That's right. Now this was at the time.
This is when not phone
I
machines.
couldn't even
were-
figure out how to work this thing. I
That's
didn't
It was
know.
right.
mechanical.
These were new.
It was
Yeah, you can see
mechanical.
the reels going around in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was like it was like we used it to do a major plot point. But here we are setting it up. Yeah. And this was this was
this
just
was-
when they
This is a story point. I always wondered why it bothered Rudy, because I figured Rudy was any publicity is good kind of guy.
Well,
but
he-
then of
I-
course this
he-
was real trouble. They were going to
Well,
shut
no,
him
they
down.
explains it in the next scene, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Doesn't he say our
Yeah, but
We had nuns protesting.
we had nuns protesting.
yeah.
Can't have
Knock
that.
them motherfuckers on the ass too.
Right.
Yeah, Frank had lived that line.
Yeah.
No, it's always great when you give the actor the script, because all they do is think about their own part and what they can do to make their part more interesting. So Frank came up with that line about turning the fire hose after you said turn the fire hose on.
So
I
now,
love- now this
once
is-
this
now
has been
this is-
exposed, we just take the stakes higher.
Now this is one of my favorite scenes, because what makes this scene is so outrageous, and what makes this scene so great is that everybody is just playing it dead straight. And it's like it makes it so great.
Bob, you remember we researched this? We called that guy at Mount Wilson
Could be
to
done.
find out how this,
yeah.
if this could be done, and he was saying. First he said, "Oh, you bet you'd get caught," and then he said, "But yeah, I guess you could do it." And he got more and more interested in it. Yeah, you could do. You could. This could work.
No one
You
ever
could
thought
actually
of
do
it.
This.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, but you could do it.
For one thing,
So it is more or less technically accurate.
Oh yeah.
on the horizon. And for another thing, pal, I mean, for Christ's sake, we're fucking with the president.
Oh man,
Oh,
that
he
was
fucks with us. Yeah.
We had remember what a pain in the ass it was shooting in here, because the sun would come in.
It was horrendous.
We had to restructure all of our shooting days based on where the sun was going to be.
I mean,
the
it was-
sun would come in those windows and burn everything out. There it is.
The ever-present Jim, ready to do what needs to be done. That's right.
The real Jim the mechanic was this guy that we met in Kingman, Arizona.
But no, here's
goes.
one of our
Yeah,
great
this
moments,
is good.
Bob,
Oh,
because
this
this makes it
pacemaker,
This is good.
all
Boom.
believable.
That's right.
Watch it. I love his reaction when he gets hit and he kind of goes out for a second. It goes there, starts to shut down. And he hits him and he comes back. Ooh, look at this. What?
But what was what was so great about when we wrote that is that the audience completely now believes that they're going to be able to. Because what we were concerned is that the thing was so outrageous. We said, well, if he builds a pacemaker,
I love
Yeah,
that.
these guys-
Wasn't there was a line in that scene too before they switch over to the 700 Club, before they get bored and switch over to the 700
so,
Club.
I know.
Oh man.
Yeah, here's the
Intro.
power of the pan.
What are you guys doing?
The power of the pan. Something's up.
Some things are just simply done.
And Debbie Harmon. God, I didn't realize she came into this movie so far into it.
Oh yeah.
This character was coming in. This is great. This is where you took. So this is what you do. At this point, you're writing along. You say, you know what? Okay, now. Okay, what do we? It's almost like what's next. To me, it's a what's next. Okay,
But she set up.
What's
She
next?
set up.
Yeah,
Remember
Oh, yeah,
at the
she
beginning,
totally set up.
Jack
Totally
Warden was talking about, I got
Yeah,
this
yeah,
call from
yeah.
my long lost daughter.
Oh yeah.
So you guys had that. Okay, well, now's the time. We'll bring her in now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
got to complicate everything. Got to make it complicated.
Yeah, you.
I love it. This is now the love story of used cars.
exactly.
Look at those
Exactly.
pants, Kurt.
But the love story, but the love story, you will see the scenes coming up is really great. I mean, it's really well written because as it gets worse. The complexities get worse because we wrote some really clever surprises in there.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, a guy with no moral compass who suddenly has a pang of something from somewhere.
Exactly.
She's great here too. She's such a sweet person. She's an inventive actress. She's a great gal. I haven't seen her for a long time. You guys seen Deborah? Have you seen her?
No, I haven't talked to her in a while.
I haven't seen her for a while.
Back then, it was hard to find girls who were cute that had any kind of comedy training.
Yeah,
at
was she
all.
at a Second City?
Yes,
She did Second City, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I remember we read dozens of girls and they just weren't funny.
Hey, this here we shot. Remember that? We shot that on the stage.
That's right.
That was an insert. Why did we have to do that? What did he just say there? It was like we needed to short, or do we need to? What do we?
Did you
I
make
needed,
a cut in the scene?
I had to do. I think I made a cut in the scene. I think it was much longer.
Yeah.
And I had and I couldn't
Trim
get
it.
out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But we also used his line to shore something up. I can't remember what.
But just to just ratchet up. Yeah, she's trouble.
Right.
Do you expect him back shortly, or?
No, he's out of town. But I'll tell you what, the best steaks in the
He's
world
out
are
of
in
town on business, or?
pleasure. He's in Miami Beach, all right?
Miami?
It's like, oh, there's a great. There's,
You see, I was supposed to meet my father here, and
I love how you use the car door to keep her away from
I'm
me.
getting ready to do this. These are you got to prepare yourself
Really
for the
good
hand gag.
you gotta.
Oh, this is when you gave me the line reading. I could not get this line reading.
Which one?
Airport Lanes, best something other in town.
Best salad bar in town.
Best salad bar
That's
in town. I said, finally, I said, Bob, give me the line. Just do it for me. I'm gonna imitate you. I could not get this line right. I could get the line reading right.
If that's Luke's daughter, we gotta get rid of her, huh? I mean, what if she figures out what's going on here, huh? What if she sees our commercial tomorrow night?
I know. Why don't we just throw her in the hole out back with
Best salad bar in town, Airport Lanes.
See, it worked.
You did. I saw her do it.
This was great. I remember this is one of my favorite moments, Kurt. It just come in on the end of some joke that nobody knows what it was. It's like,
We just start the scene somehow.
that's right.
Yeah, get another drink over here. That's right. Come on, let's go. He's trying to get her drunk. What a horrible human being.
But he's good at his job.
Hey, he's good. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's right.
a nice guy.
Exactly.
No, it really is. It really. I mean, I'm sorry, but to many people, you could have a lot of fun with comparing the early unknown life of William Jefferson to Rudy Russo.
Oh yeah.
It's how do you
cut from the same cloth.
Oh, this was good. This is where Rudy experiencing things he's never known.
Oh, yeah.
Something I gotta tell you.
I remember, Kurt, this is where you helped us out a whole lot as writers. We had a whole lot more dialogue in these scenes written, and you said, just let me make this work. I can just say to her, I like you, and
Yeah,
the
I
audience will
like,
believe this.
because I remember you guys were fighting this. You're saying, how do
we
we
were
do
writing
this?
all that
we didn't want-
banner.
we
We
How do
didn't
you
know
make
how
this
to-
character
I
that
know.
you set all this stuff up?
And how do you let the audience know
yeah,
that?
how do you make it believable? And
he
it's like,
said-
thou doth protest too much.
Yeah, well, we didn't know that.
Kurt
actors
says,
could
I'm an
do
actor.
stuff
That's
like
what I do.
that. We didn't know that.
I'll
Oh,
say
wait,
it, I'll mean it.
Wait a minute, there's an actor here.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Well, I'll just even say, you guys literally said, well, what are you going to say? What are you going to do?
Well, if you write, I really like you on the page, you want to throw up.
Yeah.
It's like horrendous to read. But and actors can make it live.
I know that, sometimes I can come off as kind of insincere, but
I remember we had all those people trying to pantomime bowling back there because because somebody said, "Are you crazy? You're doing a dialogue scene in a bowling alley?"
So, yeah, it's so quiet you can hear a pin drop.
That's right.
So you don't see any balls.
Well, you do on her side a little bit where she doesn't have any dialogue.
Yeah, throw it now.
That's right.
I love this where Rudy can't quite believe what just came out of his own mouth.
That's right. Yeah, it's great.
Oh.
And but the lies
worked too good.
It worked too good. He thought he took care of business. It's great.
Been saying about Luke and everything, and
It's great.
it's true. I'm passing judgment on a man I haven't even seen in 10 years, so at least I can do is give him the benefit of the doubt. So I decided to stick around for a few days.
The movie starts I remember this was where
See you tomorrow.
we actually say, well, the movie's going it gets fairly complicated now. The inner workings of
Oh yeah.
she's staying.
So going back to Jim the mechanic, the real guy, Bob and I were driving across the country after college one year, 1972, I guess it was, and his car broke down just outside of Kingman, Arizona. We coasted into this truck stop to get the car fixed, and this mechanic in there was this Vietnam veteran who was on uppers, just completely insane guy. And we were stuck at this place for hours and hours watching this guy work. And we just filed it away. Here's a character that needs to be in one of our movies someday.
All you gotta do is keep her away from the television set, get her on the train at midnight, huh? Go, take it.
I feel
Go.
horseshit enough. Bowling alley, for Christ's sake.
What a sinner to do.
I can't do this to her.
What a senator do, huh?
This is a great way to play this. You needed a minute to think about it.
And the girl in the car.
Yeah, the girl in the car. Yeah.
Always, Jeff has a girl with him all the time.
This is just crazy stuff. Yeah. It really is fun. In the movie, I love the.
No, this was pretty clever stuff.
Yeah.
What? Because this is where the audience knows he's actually an okay guy. But you got to watch this.
He's struggling.
Yeah.
Been if you'd come last week.
Well, I don't understand. What?
This is complicated.
I
too.
know.
So, gonna. I can't even follow it now.
Right.
Gonna tell her the truth. Put the ticket away.
But wait a minute.
You gotta take me through this again.
Wait,
Bob.
watch. This is here comes the button right here. Here we go.
Sir? Yes. I believe you dropped. Thanks.
This is Zemeckis and Gale. This is it.
So one
That's
thing
how
you
you get
think
out
is
of
one
it.
thing, it
Complicated. You just
turns
keep
into
making it
something
worse.
else.
That's
It
right.
turns into something else.
So
How many ways can you misinterpret something?
So we don't want the guy to really be that much of a heel, but we got to keep the story going.
Oh man.
Considerate.
Oh Rudy.
So then we turn it one
now
way,
there-
and
well,
then
yeah,
we let her
there's
turn
another-
it.
there's another
Then we
twist
let her
to it.
turn it around. We let her turn it around again.
Wow.
I don't want to force myself on him, Rudy. I just want to wait till he comes back. And besides, I'm having a wonderful time. You're really great company.
This was the roof of the Van Nuys courthouse that we shot much later because we knew there was no other way to do it. And that's a forced perspective miniature of the Washington Monument back
I was
there.
gonna. Okay. Oh, okay. So how did you do that? What, that was there was no blue
It was
screen.
like a little 10-foot miniature we put on a parallel
Oh, okay.
in the
Put it
parking
Out
lot.
there. Now that shot of the White House was actually a shot we had to go get.
We had to go get. They
Because
didn't
there
have
was
one.
no aerial shots of the White House, and I was running around scouting after the movie was done. I went to Washington D.C. to find a place to shoot it, and I'm running around the tops of these buildings, worried that the Secret Service is gonna come after me, wondering why I'm looking on the tops of buildings for shots down at the
Now,
White House.
when people talk to me about used cars, this is probably the scene they talk about the most.
This one here?
with when he blows the Mercedes up. That's the one I think they talk about the
Gun
most.
pointed right at his head. See, those are the little things that make my life worth. That's why. That's the kind of stuff I like to do as a director.
Oh, it was raining there. Hey.
Oh yeah, it was raining that night. Remember there was that electrician that refused to work.
Oh,
And
really?
Don Morgan set up a chair and he said, "Okay, you're not going to work, but you're going to sit out here in the fucking rain because we're paying you, and I'm not going to have you sit and get
don't have
dry
to
while
work?
these other guys are working."
But you gotta. So this is in Van Nuys,
Yep.
and the other end of it you were shooting in.
Well, we
Phoenix.
just had
We just
binoculars.
shot that later. The
insert.
binoculars insert was done in Washington D.C.
I love this.
And this guy brought a TV set to the. You know, you just write this stuff in, and people see it and they believe it. Food giant.
Food giant. Come on.
And of course, we wrote the dialogue around this based on the text of this presidential footage that we were able to get, so that it would all fit.
Yeah. Now I think that's something that nobody else has done to the degree that you guys have done, and you took some flack for it in
No,
Contact.
He's always putting the president
Was
in
it?
the movies.
No, but what was it? What was the movie you took flack for? You took was it
Oh,
Contact?
yeah,
Contact.
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 When I
Put
put-
Clinton in there. We had a rape. We had.
Well, why not? He fucks with us. I mean, it falls into that category.
Oh yeah.
But
well, the thing was that you all, it wasn't. No, the White House didn't care, but the news media got all upset because what I was doing is I was like letting people know that just because you saw on TV doesn't mean any of it's true.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, you know, it's all
They
manipulated.
don't want anybody to know that.
They don't want to know. I was giving away the trade secrets.
Bang.
Now, of course,
Boom,
this
that's a good shot.
in Southern California, you're bombarded by used car commercials all the time, and this is a direct ripoff of all the Cal Worthington commercials that we used to see.
I wonder, it's not the same like it used to be, is it?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
people
never
don't-
up that late enough
do
to watch
people-
those
Nobody
movies.
watches late night television anymore, so there's no place to put these car commercials.
Yeah,
Is
I
there?
don't know.
We don't know.
It's cable.
I
It's
mean, don't people
cable
watch
now, so
cable all the
yeah.
time
We're
now?
parents. We go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah. Boom.
now we used real shotgun shot to do those.
Yeah. You did. He
Which
shot
was
the-
completely insane.
That's completely illegal, right? So was he loading them up and shooting them?
Well, that was a stuntman who did the actual shooting, but it was,
They were quarter.
we had
loads.
live ammunition on the
They were
set.
quarter loads.
I mean, insane.
I know. Live ammunition on the set.
Yeah, that's what it really looks like.
That's what it. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but
I always like getting a good actor to act like he can't act.
And the blood just pours out.
Yes, sir, friends. That's New Deal used cars. Now wait just a goddamn minute. What the hell is this?
Probably the world's longest
kiss.
on-screen
It
kiss.
was-
Yes.
This is the part. This is what people talk.
This is a good-
Too
this is a-
fucking high.
this is a good. There's a lot of powder. Look at how high we blew that.
That thing
car.
goes up.
It does. Now this stunt
Getting
is
the kicking into the TV
was
set.
terrified Terry Leonard, the toughest stunt man in Hollywood. He was so afraid to put his foot into because it was a.
It was a live.
It was a live.
television.
It was a live
It was on.
TV
It was
thing.
turned
It was
on.
turned on.
But we had to.
We
had
grounded him though. Remember that?
To, yeah.
We had him,
no,
we had him grounded.
He was wearing rubber. He was wearing rubber under.
He got out of there fast.
Yeah.
He sure did.
It's real hard to kick in a television tube. They're made of. They're tough. They're tough to bust.
I mean, nobody knew. Everybody was saying, "Well, we've never done one of these before. We don't know what's going to happen."
And
What kind of people do they think we are?
And this was of course during the height of the Iranian hostage crisis.
well, this is when I remember
Well,
this now.
every day you'd come to the set curtain and say, "We're going in."
We're going in.
Kurt and Garrett were always having arguments about this
right, yeah.
hostage situation.
They gotta go in and
Marines
get
are
'em.
Marines are going in.
in. Well, it invented a TV show.
We did a covered version
Nightline.
of this.
Nightline
We
came
did, remember
out
we
of
did a version where we blamed it on the Hare Krishnas.
Oh yeah.
Why? In case there was a
In
war
case,
in
no,
Iraq?
in case the
Iran
in
or
case the hostage situation was over by the time the movie came out.
Which of course it wasn't. Thanks to
It
Jimmy
wasn't.
Carter.
It
What's
wasn't
still
for
going
years.
on?
Right.
But yeah, I remember on this show starting to watch this show at night called Night. It made
That's
Oh,
right.
Nightline.
That's made
Yeah.
Nightline.
Oh,
That's
yeah. I
right.
started getting hooked on
That's right.
on watching.
Now this fight coming up is just a great fight, and you got to hand it to the guys, the two stuntmen who did this.
So this is
I didn't realize this had a big league score.
I learned a lot about scoring movies on the mistakes that were made on this movie.
we
Okay,
actually
now you gotta.
we threw out the entire.
Now this is an El Dorado that we rented, smashed it, bondoed it, and gave it back to the rental car company that night.
Wait a minute. What?
Well, that was
You
Paul.
didn't tell them what you were gonna do.
Paul Casella special.
They weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to wreck the car. I promised them they wouldn't do it. And of course, then they were out of control, and they did.
Yeah, this was a good
This
fight.
is
These guys worked it pretty
Vince,
good.
Vince Dedrick and Steve
Yeah.
Boyum.
Now, the
And
reason
we-
that the music's the way it is because everybody was,
It was too
concerned
mean?
that it was too violent,
Yeah.
and we had to make it more cartoony. But it's a great fight. It's the best fight I ever did.
He really.
We did this the
Well,
way they used to do the old Republic serials
Right,
fights,
right.
and that is we let the stunt guys we shot it wide first and just let them tear up the whole room,
And
and then we went back in to do close-ups with the real actors, and had them watch what all the stunt guys did, and then
Right, and I think we
copy
did it twice. We only did it twice. We let the
That's
stunt
right.
guys just do the whole fight twice.
You can also see.
Look at that!
you
Look at
can-
the way this guy throws himself around. He's amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
And Jack, you can tell that Jack's like
Right.
got the boxing
Oh
thing
yeah.
going on.
Oh yeah. Here now
Comes
watch
out with that toilet paper.
this stunt. Watch when he gets. Watch this. Look at this.
He jumps it.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, he jumps it.
He's like he goes completely like horizontal.
And he gets him here. That's what's weird. This is what I love. He goes after him with some.
this is where it really starts to get vicious, and then we, of course, have a way to pull back.
Yeah. Wait a minute. The pit.
Build in the pit.
Oh man. How many nights did we shoot on this? You guys
It's
remember?
me.
Man, I don't know. It just seems like didn't we like start? I mean, we shot this in the winter, didn't we?
Yeah, November, December. We took
And January.
a hiatus at Christmas, and then we came back and did most of the outdoor cattle drive stuff in January, as I recollect.
I knew it.
That was a hard shot to get. Sometimes those simple things that you think are
You mean with the
easy,
with
just
the
a cigarette lighter lighting up the.
because you couldn't get enough light on the green
It's just
top?
you know, it's just one of those things where it seemed simple when we thought it up, and it turned out to be harder to shoot.
Get out!
Yeah, our transportation captain, going back to that El Dorado, he was great. He, we don't know some of the stuff that he did, and we don't want to know it.
Oh now should we tell him the secret of how he did this?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay, yeah,
we
go
were
ahead.
able to train the dog to pose with his leg up, and so we reversed the film. So
I
we set
see.
the dog
Started
and
with
he put it
with
down.
his leg
Yeah,
up, and then he
yeah,
put
yeah,
the
yeah,
he
yeah,
put
yeah.
it down.
Low tech.
Yeah.
Low tech.
Oh.
What a great dog.
I pulled the old Texas switch here on this one
Oh yeah, that's right.
because that was an underwear deal. I forget.
That's right. No, that's right.
I can't remember how we did it, but it was like I pulled my underwear up, then down, then up, or something.
Yeah, right. No,
Make it
it's
look like I was getting out of bed.
No, yeah, we did a thing where you went out of frame for a minute.
Yeah, right.
You'll see it coming up. Right.
Hi, I'm not in right now, but if you'll leave your name and your number, I'll get back to you just as soon as I can.
Rudy, it's Jim. If you're there, pick up. Emergency.
Again, that's that answering machine that we set up before that's going to turn out to be real important because it's recording this whole conversation.
Jesus.
Where are you now? All right, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember these sets.
be right
I'm trying to remember what did we build this set?
Is it about Luke?
Where was this set?
I don't remember. That was red underwear. His crazy red underwear.
Was this a practical?
I think it was practical.
Crazy enough that
Yeah,
we
we were
shot stuff
crazy enough to shoot
practical?
because this is the only angle that we could shoot.
I know it was something. I remember it was
This was
something
the
like
only
I couldn't
angle
shoot.
that we could shoot.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's looking at that. It reminded me of Eddie Bondi was my new agent at the time, and at the end of the screening, he was very honest and very gay. And he walked by and he looked at me and he said, "Not my kind of movie. You need to lose 20 pounds. Let's call you on Monday." That's all he ever
thanks.
said about you.
Thanks for the encouraging
yeah,
words.
Right, man. Yeah.
Luke's dead. He found out when we buried him. Jesus. He beat up Jeff. Now Toby must have
Plot
chased him off,
thickens.
so we gotta do something or the cops gonna think we killed him.
Where are you now?
At the lot.
At the lot.
That's right.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know it's funny because
Now here's where
Well, how do you think we feel about it? Do you think
Here's
we
where-
like being associated with the President of the United States? We want an honest
no look at the way these cars come in here with all these extras. It's like what was I thinking? Look at this.
Nah, but you could do this stuff in Arizona.
I know, but it was like, oh my God.
we're not even open yet. I know you're excited.
All right, bring those tricks over here, huh?
This is, of course, one of the most outrageous things we do. We kill a guy a second time.
Oh, I know.
That's our business. Start digging up our lawn, and the least you can do is tell us what the hell you're looking for.
Now, that's a lot of crap, so you buried my brother here and you know it.
What? Very
A bunch of these cops were stunt guys, as I recollect.
Oh, they were. I think
Ted
they all
White.
were. Yeah, they all were, or half of them were.
to get some breakfast. They'll be right back.
You spoke to Lucas Bukes 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, there's
Now here comes some.
God damn everything.
There's
the garlic. I love the
yeah,
garlic. in
exactly.
there.
Yeah, here, directing 101. You know, let the audience know where everybody is. You know, it's like,
Well, but it's important.
it's like, got to do it.
Some people still don't know how to
That's
do
right,
that.
I guess.
Woo. The garlic. And his eyes are rolling. He's aged a little too. I like that.
Now, this is a stunt that could have gone wrong. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we were so, like, watch when
This was a
Frank
kid-
when we pulled it, when we cut the cable on this car, with that car almost clips Frank here. Watch
Yeah, I
this.
know. He's close to. Wow!
Man, oh man.
You see his whole football stuff come back.
Right.
Oh, here he comes now.
This is the audience just thinks this shit is so funny.
Well, it is.
It is, but I mean, just that everybody.
Steeply sick. It's like you hear him. He's really,
I'm laughing now. Why is that funny?
It's a dead man driving a car.
I guess.
All trace is gone.
Now, there-
Those reaction shots, gotta have them.
Well, they like their work, but it's a little rough.
there's a story about the camera operator I'll never forget. Our cameraman wanted the first assistant cameraman to operate on that explosion because we had like 4 cameras on it, and he said, "Oh, I want Ricky to operate. I said, okay, fine. And he left his hand on the switch, and when the car blew up, he got so scared he shut the camera off.
So one of them's dead.
Never keep your hand on the on and off switch when you're operating a camera. I love Kurt. I love your reaction here, Kurt. This is one of the greatest. This one here. This one.
Staying over at my place.
Watch this.
It's just on top of it here, isn't it? Ouch!
Remember we talked about how Rudy didn't like getting hit like that? He was like, look at this.
Oh my God, he's never been hit before.
We never
He's
have.
afraid of blood.
We never have.
Here, watch this reading. This is a great reading.
There's been a terrible accident at your father's dead. He was already dead. Turn him in the end.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Now look, we're burning tires and diesel fuel back there. You could never do that in California.
Well, that's why we had it in Arizona.
I mean, we're like burning.
EPA.
I mean, we are. It's like you can't do stuff like this anymore. Look at, we just got black smoke going back there for a whole day.
I love this one here. Oh! This was my favorite line.
It's a ninth grader looking at it.
Yeah. Don't take too long. It's a seventh grader looking at it yesterday.
Don't think about it too long. It's a ninth grader looking at you.
Oh, life is bad. Yeah. Now you start pay. Everything starts coming in now.
That's right.
I love this stuff.
Why don't you call my bookie?
I love it. He's barbecuing.
And we don't know what the hell he's
Nobody
barbecuing.
knows what he's
Ribs, I
barbecuing.
think.
He's
Got something
Putting
going.
something flammable on there.
That's right.
He's burning his crotch off because it's just that flame is going. Oh
this,
man!
this was a scene that played great. the thing about the number 10 here.
No, 10 after 10.
And of course, we never identified the football team by
name.
other than the city because we didn't get permission from the NFL.
Right.
We would have had to pay for that, and we couldn't afford that.
What was the budget on used? What was the starting
This
budget? and
movie
what'd you
cost
do?
$8 million.
$8 million. And
Now that was a lot of money in
1980.
19. I mean, they were killing me.
Well, I don't know if you even remember this. 3 days before the movie started, Shel Schrager made me cut $300,000 out of the budget.
Oh yeah, they
The
do
day
that
before
all
you
the time.
started.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to cut out, and I just signed the budget. I did what any good producer did. I lied.
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, we'll cut $300,000 out of this." Sure. I had no
Oh
idea.
yeah, I can do that, Shell.
But I can't do it right now for you, Shell. Okay, Bob, go ahead. The trucks had already left for Arizona.
That means we'll need your contribution.
Yeah, they busted our ass every day on
Oh, it
this
was
budget.
horrendous. Well, I mean, I remember we lost like a whole night of shooting because we had the worst electrical crew in the history of show business on this
We
show.
did. That's right.
They were awful.
KFUK.
Yeah.
Tell that to Standards and Practices on TV.
I mean, this is a situation where a department that was so ineptly run, like the electrical department, could completely sabotage a whole show.
Now, what was the deal there? Why? What was? You just couldn't.
Yeah,
get it
the
together?
head. I think
Too much cocaine, probably.
they just weren't. They just.
It was 1980.
Well,
When was it?
plus we had a bunch of
79,
local people from Arizona. They were,
And I just like
they weren't
no,
that
we
good.
couldn't get anything lit. I just like
They were slow. Yeah, they
they
didn't
were
care.
so slow.
Oh man.
You know?
When was this released? 81?
80.
Summer 1980.
If you want to call it released.
Let it. When was it hatched?
It played in a few theaters west of the Mississippi River.
That should have been a review. When was used car? Oh, used cars was hatched today.
Right.
Lisa's lost, find some sucker to buy yours. Roy? Roy?
It just continues on.
Asshole.
Asshole mayor.
We know anybody over Channel 7?
Okay, now this was some this is stuff that people didn't really much know about.
No, this was like
No.
this was
No, this
like
We're taking you behind the scenes in a TV studio.
This guy's great too. He's so slimy.
Style of cars we have to choose from.
He's great wardrobe on this guy.
You see where she said style?
Got the hat always with a cigarette out of his mouth. Yeah.
I mean, see where she said styles.
We have to choose from.
Further on.
And this is again one of these scenes. It's a pain in the ass to shoot because you got all this playback that has to play back, fit with the actors saying their lines, and
A mile. Let me go a mile and I put it over style. Now watch this.
Come on down. See the mile of cars we have to choose from.
it's like a little kid.
He's
like a
like,
little
let
kid.
me see that again.
Yeah, right.
This can't be that easy.
That's right.
This is-
Mile of cars we have to choose from.
Listen to Joe's line here.
Damn, that's terrific. What do you think, Sam?
Most blatant case of false advertising.
Look at the guy's laughing his
I
head
know.
off.
It's great.
Why don't you come on down and see the mile of
And
cars
this is what makes it great is Frank McRae's line here, where he echoes it like he's an expert on false advertising. He would know. He would know.
That's right.
Oh, this
this actor is
Woody Parfrey.
Woody
Woody Parfrey. He's
Oh,
so
man.
great.
God, is he great?
Oh, I've been looking all over. You son of a bee. I'm not gonna lose my job.
In this movie, you son of a bee. You son of a bee.
Well, he's a high
He's
school
a high school
principal.
teacher. You can't swear.
So no.
You can't swear.
Cars won't run.
Look, you guys got an auto shop class, right? Enroll your 250 sophomores in it and teach them something.
Teach you something.
Remember how hard it was for us to do that? We had to pick that. We had to put a harness on it.
It was a whole thing.
It was a whole deal.
Fired. They've done him all day.
And that's the fifth sack that Cusimano this afternoon.
See, I think it's a USC game that we got. I think it's a college game.
It's a college game. I remember looking through the archives with our video guy somewhere in Arizona, just looking at footage
Yeah.
and footage and footage.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what game it is.
I can't remember if we had the video playback that day on the TV set. Do we have anything on the TV set, or was it just blue screen?
Oh no! Those were they just invented
always had
this.
playback.
They just invented this thing where
Where you get synced up.
You get them
24
synced
frame
up,
video.
right? 24 frame video,
Right.
right? But there was
And,
no
the
taps in the
Burbank Studios
camera in
was-
those days.
The Burbank Studios was the only company that had it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Landecker.
So you rented it from them?
Had to, yeah.
They were the only game in town. Nobody else knew how to do it. That's
That wasn't
so
that
you
long
didn't-
ago.
That's
That's
so
weird.
that you didn't get roll bars
Right.
on the
Yeah,
on
right.
the TV screen. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about.
Jeff.
With your money's
And the bartender in this scene is Debbie Harmon's dad. She asked us if we could put him in the movie.
Really?
so-
I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
great.
Frank Harmon.
Pete Green, of course, one of the
This is one of our great scenes, Bob, where the
Characterization.
characterization is everything, and it's like he decides to jinx the game,
Turn on himself.
turn on himself.
And because you believe, because
true
we've
friend.
seen how superstitious he is,
You believe it.
You just believe that all
Right.
this superstition
You believe
stuff
it.
is going to work.
And he fumbled the ball.
hold this stuff.
And again, this is one of those scenes that in the audience just plays great.
Yeah.
They just have a terrific time watching.
It's such
watching
a
him do
friendly
all this.
act. It's such a what do you call it? A selfless
Sacrifice,
act.
yeah.
Sacrifice.
Self-sacrifice.
Right.
All of everything you
Somebody has an umbrella. Just put it in there.
Anything.
It's Arizona. Why do they have umbrellas? Yeah, right. I don't know. Well, so you can open them. That's why.
morning or something. Okay, regardless of what brings the change of luck
great.
around, quarterback
Sir, black cat man out!
There's Frank. Yeah.
Hey, what the hell are you trying to do?
It's a ladder. It is.
Yeah, Garrett, he always goes for it.
No, it's a Sun Devils.
yeah, yeah.
It's a Sun Devils game. You
Yeah,
can
Oh,
actually see it.
that was it, yeah.
Actually see it on the screen. There.
Okay, Cusimano, back to the drawing board.
Gotta be a pass play now.
Oh, wait, here's a pitch to Smith. And wait a minute.
Oh, this is great.
Back to Cusimano on the old fleet.
Buying in.
The two guys change places. Yes.
Buying in.
He could go all the way.
Glad we got that one on the first day. Now that girl was a stunt.
Yeah, she broke her arm.
She broke
doing
her
something.
arm,
Thank God
doubling
that was...
doubling Deborah Harmon.
Yeah, what stunt was that?
I don't remember.
Uh-oh. Now we're getting the dub.
There you go.
Dub
Oh,
Taylor.
yeah.
I remember that.
Dub
World's
Taylor.
fastest
he
talker.
Yeah, but he said to me, "Why'd you hire somebody? We had all these see with all." He said, "Why do you hire somebody like me to say all these big words?"
He worked with my dad many, many, many times in the years in the past, and I knew Dub from like the unemployment line. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I would
yeah.
see him there, and I knew his son. He's
Yeah, Dub's great.
Got the money, Russo?
And we used dub later in Back to the Future 3.
Yep.
yeah.
And you can't understand a word he
No,
says in that movie either.
Mr. Tucker, I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit nervous about
Bag full of money.
well, about what I'm supposed to do. What sort of policy are you guys trying to push?
Well, the party shares concern the middleman taxpayer, you know, the working man, and then also in favor of civic improvements. Now, here's a new freeway we're announcing tomorrow. My son-in-law got that.
Look at these high quality props here. Look at our property department there. Look at that fine
like the
quality
readout.
binder.
That's right.
Paste some
I know.
paste some letters on the front of that thing.
Fine golfer. Practically wins every tournament he plays in. Plays at 48 handicap. Really fine golfer. And wins favor of lowering taxes. Didn't you used to work there?
Closed.
Closed by court orders. Another way the party looking out for the consumer. You know, last night, the proprietor of that car lot made a false misleading claim on a television commercial. One of our constituents brought it to our attention. And the case goes before a judge in about 5 minutes.
You got hanging Judge Harrison.
They're all coming in now.
Take he's legit. Roy, you remember that colored kid?
See that guy sleeping back there?
Billy Joe?
I think our casting director found him in the unemployment line. We needed extras, and she went to the unemployment line in Phoenix and found that guy.
You got the lawyer.
He was great. He was great.
I even got the attorney on the take.
I can win this case.
I can win this thing.
I like the fact that that Royal Fuchs knows about this case about the kid that got stole the beer.
Yeah.
He knows all about it.
Jesus. There's only one thing she can do is do it, huh?
So great.
Christ.
Hey, wait a minute, Russo!
Love conquers all.
Gosh, yeah, I forgot all this stuff.
Yeah.
Did we actually have you jump on that bus, Kurt? I don't remember.
I think
No.
we did.
Did
I
I?
think we
Just cut it
did, but
out.
we
I
didn't.
think so. We
I think I had a shot inside.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
when I was on
yeah.
the,
Yeah.
There's Al.
Grandpa.
Al Lewis.
Al Lewis. What did he do? And he ran for mayor last year?
He ran for mayor of New York. And he ran for governor of New York in the Green Party.
Did he really?
Yeah.
And he didn't win?
What?
They're all messed up in New York. They're all messed up in
New
New
York.
York.
What do you want? Now, this was where did we shoot this stuff? Courthouse. This was
Yeah,
This was
in the real
This was the real
Phoenix
courthouse in
yeah.
Phoenix.
Maricopa
Yeah.
County Courthouse.
I can say. I remember thinking to myself, man, you can't go any bigger. You can't. That's it. That's as big as it gets.
Just sometimes
Make
you
an
just have to
entrance.
do-
Sometimes you have to make an
You have to
entrance.
Make a pratfall.
Oh, Rudy.
And of course, we had to, in a movie about lying, you have to have,
Yeah.
do you swear to tell the truth?
That's right. But
Mr. Slayton, will you commence the questioning?
I think Joe's great in this scene. He just really chews it up.
Yeah, Joe goes to town here.
He's great.
Barbara Jane Fuchs.
And well, I mean, this was used cars. This scene was used cars because it was you're taking this wonderful, sweet, honest girl, and you're taking your leading man, and he's just coming right out with it, just coming right out with it. That's right out with it. Here,
Lie.
here's
Just
the way
lie.
it works. Just lie. It's America, babe.
Do you or do you not?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Do you have a mile of cars for sale on your lot? When placed end to end, will all the cars on your lot total 1 mile? May I remind
True
you,
love.
are under oath.
True trust.
That's right.
Take that risk.
Yes.
Oh my God. Everybody. I love that the courthouse is packed.
It's
for
packed,
this,
right,
for this-
exactly.
Packed for this
What is
nothing.
this? Nothing
for
case.
this
That's
nothing case.
Standing room only. in fact.
And Abe Lincoln is there. Are you absolutely
certain that you understood the gentleman's question?
Yeah, we had to have a prop guy build all this stuff, right?
Yeah, those are some good props.
They were good props.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Didn't you
Yes.
you keep those, Bob?
I got them. I think I got them somewhere. Yeah.
Those are pretty. I was gonna say
Those are good little, like, yeah.
Those are the ones to have.
execution props.
Yeah.
What?
You see a little electric chair, guillotine, gallows.
She is lying. That she has, in fact, only 25.
This is Capra. Yeah, this Capra
right.
turned upside down here.
That's right.
I have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Neither do I. Miss Fuchs, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Court will reconvene at 2:45 p.m. at the
Al
New
was so
Deal
happy
Used Car
to
Lot.
do this movie because I don't think he'd done anything since The Munsters when we cast him in this.
I hadn't seen him for
He,
all those years.
I don't even know that he'd ever played a judge before this, and he was just so excited that
Yeah.
he was doing this.
There's your answer.
There you go.
There you
Look at the guy. Oh, there's
There's
that
an
dope
airplane.
back there.
Airplane, we found this somewhere, right?
That's right. They got-
He was just in some junkyard. This plane.
Oh,
Plain
yeah.
full of- Oh, these kids now. Now this was this Western take. I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys
This
really-
was
Cattle
Red
Drive.
River.
I mean, this is Red River, yeah.
Cattle
That's-
drive with cars. That's right. Exactly, Red River.
Rudy,
This was Terry Leonard's big deal too. I mean, this was not an easy thing.
But
to
this
do.
was, we didn't have this thing planned out. We didn't know. It was like, okay, we'll just get all these cars and they'll just drive. Oh, yeah? Well, and then I said, well, they got to go at least 50 miles an hour, bumper to bumper.
Yeah. Well, okay, we can do that.
Okay.
And then Kurt's got to run up on the hood, jump.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. I remember we just sprayed some of that sticky stuff on the bottom of your shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of it on the car.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
make it real sticky.
Bring some rifles.
He's got the goats there.
Forget about the rifles. This pinche gringo está loco.
I think she skipped town.
Oh, good. I'll win the damn thing on a default. Calls for a toast. As a man who would approximately
Now, the score to this movie was actually ended up being done in 3 weeks by Patrick Williams because the first score that we had done turned out to be terrible.
What was it
Well,
like?
we asked him to do How the West Was Won.
Yeah.
Because that's what we used as our temp tracks, and that's what he gave us. He gave us Exodus instead of How the West Was Won. And I remember Bob and I were there on that scoring stage, and we heard these cues coming in, and our hearts were just sinking lower and lower, because in those days you could never hear anything ahead of time. The orchestra was the first time there were no synthesizers to preview it on.
You girls are ready for some heavy-duty driving here.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, this is Wendy Joe. This is some funny stuff.
Yeah, Wendy Joe's Berber.
One of our
She was a fine
repertoire.
One of repertory company.
Repertory company.
See, that's what I mean. Like, where did you know Wendy Jo Sperber from?
She was in I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Oh, I see.
And then she was in 1941.
Okay.
And so we put her in this, and we put her in Back to the Future as Marty's sister. These guys were great.
So the first time you heard the score, I mean, the
Was
first
on
time
was on the scoring stage.
was that day.
Yeah.
So you're just hoping for the best.
We're hoping for the best,
And
and,
you got the-
we got the worst.
and you're just like,
And it
"Oh,
was just
no."
horrible. It was just horrible.
And the money's been spent.
The money's been spent, and
there's no
we
other
had to
money
go
to
back to the studio, and
Now
Spielberg
there's
helped
a
us out
scene
here.
saved by inserts.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
This is funny.
You're not gonna flunk me for that, are you, Mr. Gertner?
Just stop.
Are you Mr. Gertner?
No, just stop the car.
That voice, her voice, so great.
You ready?
So great.
Let's go.
Deborah Harmon in the scene's got that flimsy little top on. Oh, here we go. There's some funny stuff here. It's just all, this is 1,000 shots here of stuff.
That's it.
I mean, 1,000 shots. It's like you'll never get through this stuff.
It's
Well,
horrendous.
a lot of these inserts we would shoot. We'd have a second camera while we were shooting on the car lot, and we'd just go in and say, "All right, get
Yeah.
another guy's foot on the gas pedal. Get a tailpipe here." We just grab these shots all the time. We hired these extras, $15 a day, I think it was. Bring your own car, be in a movie.
That's right. Bring your own
little did they
car.
know they were going to get
Little they
destroyed
know,
out
oh,
there.
man.
We're going to run them through the desert.
And they
And
didn't
the
care.
dust.
They got into it.
That's right.
They would drive. They
I don't
were
care. It's my
maniacs.
father's car. I don't care. It's my brother's car.
It was a crowd mentality.
That's
right. It was.
'cause as soon as they got there,
Everybody was trying to outdo it. Everybody
Now
else.
we had this is a heartbreak. We had all those cars, and you couldn't see even one
because of this dust. Yeah.
And I'm like going, oh man, nobody thought about
We
the
didn't think about
dust.
that by having a water truck out there to wet it down.
You know,
remember
this is how
Yeah, I
you
remember
learn.
this
You know,
stuff.
I would never do this on a dirt road again. I mean, there's 100 cars behind that
And you
truck.
can't see any of them.
Looks like well here
Now,
finally
here we
around
got
the
on a
pavement.
paved road, and finally they step apart, and you'll see all the cars we
Kurt
have.
kind of sliding
Now,
you right
look,
there.
now this shot, this next shot here. Look at how dangerous this is. Look at that.
This is,
Jeez. Can you imagine if one of those cars slowed down?
well, I kept thinking about when we get to this car jumping stuff. I thought, it seemed fine, everything's fine. Then I thought, God, if I fall off,
oh yeah.
the next guy behind me
He's
is
a
going to
kid.
run right over me.
He's a kid.
He's some 16-year-old kid driving as fast as he can.
I know. I know.
Oh, you had stunt guys around you on that one.
No,
Kurt.
we did.
And the cars behind me, you know what? They're the three cars behind me were always the stunt guys.
Right.
But the cars behind those guys, right behind
Right.
those guys, were
kids.
like,
Right.
whoever we had in there.
That's right.
They had a blast too. I remember in between takes, those kids were so fired up. They thought it was fabulous.
Yeah, and of course now the speed limit is 75 miles an hour in Arizona.
Yeah.
Put that pedal on the floor!
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
This ain't no driving.
He's a con man.
That's 20 miles over the speed limit. And at $10 a mile, that's a $200 fine.
We had to keep it real
I wonder
simple.
where
so
these
that-
kids are now. They're just like
man,
local kids, weren't they?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
local little
They're all
actors.
just
Yeah,
local kids.
it's great.
Local kids.
Now I remember when we did this cannon fire here, that one.
Yeah, we blew a big hole in the highway.
Well, but also the car flew over all the way over. The whole thing didn't work because it flew all the way over,
Over
the yellow
their car.
over their car. So I said, get a crane and
That's
just pick
right.
up the wreckage and
Just
drop it
drop
on
it.
the other car.
That's right.
And then Michael Kahn saved that in the editing. that was just like.
Hey, Rudy, listen, we just lost our one car safety marshal.
That's Zemeckis Gale writing.
Just make it simple so the audience can
That's
keep track.
right.
Keep track.
Keep track of how many cars you need, how many there are. Just say it, get it out there.
Oh man.
Now, I was back in Arizona shooting on the movie I just finished, and all this area is all houses now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I love that there's a playing slot cars. Already enjoying the fruits of their labor.
Again, just a simple way to get out that exposition. Just
Yeah.
have somebody walk in there and proclaim it.
Mickey obviously sits and listens to his police scanner all day long.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And bigger payoffs. Toby.
That was great.
I hope you read me, man, 'cause we got a real big problem
Of course, what he's doing is he's looking for his trainer there.
Right.
Jeff, you better go on ahead.
You know what? I don't think we ever got rained on, did we, Bob?
No, we never lost any time because of weather.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Actually, coming up, I'll tell you weren't with the second unit when we were doing some of this stuff here.
And that's what I mean. This stuff here was.
Well, this stuff was
here
real hairy.
This was
these
crazy
stunt
shit
guys.
because this is when you're talking. You know, the cars behind you.
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't know who was going to be next.
I know.
I couldn't believe these guys could even see after a while.
But we found this abandoned airfield
Right.
East
That
of
saved
Phoenix.
us.
And
That's coming up.
This is all overgrown. This stuff here, it's actually on the tarmac. And one morning, I was out there with the second unit, and it was fogged in. We lost a half a day of shooting because there was fog.
Fog, yeah.
And I had to call the studio every morning. I was calling to let them know when we got our first shot. And out there, the closest place was this feed store that was like a 30-minute drive from our location because we didn't have cell phones yet. And I'm standing in the parking lot of this feed store trying to explain to the head of production in the studio that we can't shoot because it's fog in Arizona. And he doesn't believe me. And I said, well, call Sky Harbor Airport and get the weather. They'll tell you. He wouldn't believe that.
That's bullshit.
I've heard,
There's no fog.
I've heard some excuses, Gale. Fog in Arizona. The saguaro cactus is sticking up in front of this fog. It's a movie. Just have a water truck there.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
You keep raining, you Raven!
Oh, what a beautiful day. 2:30. Whose idea was it going out to this used car lot? Shoot. I could have been out playing golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the airfield.
This is the airfield.
Yeah, no, it was great that.
I just found my first trim in used cars. What was that second shot about there after the close-up?
Well, production value. we spent all that time shooting in front of the real courthouse. You had to see it.
Cut to a wider shot of what you just saw.
I know, you're right. I've seen a lot of trims in here. I've seen a lot of trims.
Now, in the original
But
script,
this is the way it originally exists.
that's right. In the original script, we had these guys showing up in a helicopter.
Right.
But we cut that because we got squeezed on the budget. Thank goodness we did.
Yeah,
that
we
would have
never-
never
can you imagine that?
shot that.
Man, oh man.
But you know, you wear one hat when you're writing the script, and you wear another hat when you're trying to figure out how to make it.
But this is like
This is
what I
classic.
love is
Yeah.
this is the Jack Warden character just goes completely insane. It's like he's like I mean Jack just I mean it's just like
It's chariots now.
It is.
It's
That's right. Now it turns into Ben-Hur.
Yeah, that's Ben-Hur, and what's it? You know, it's one-arm push-ups. Hello. I got a gun.
Of course, we violate the laws of physics there. If he hit the truck that way, Mickey would have fallen off the other side. But who cares?
This is a great stunt.
It
Look
is
at
a
that.
good stunt.
Man, oh man.
Man, oh man.
That's rough.
You know, stuntmen aren't like you can't find stuntmen anymore who will do stuff like that.
That's rough.
Yeah, I mean, they
That
won't.
is rough.
They're it's over. They
won't-
just don't exist.
Yeah.
I know.
Here we go with the chains now.
I know,
Hey, brings up
he's
the
got
chains.
But it is. It's right out of Ben Hur.
I want you back.
It's like
chains. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is good
All
stuff.
right,
I mean,
this is good
it's
stuff.
amazing that it's like
It's great. Warlock did some stuff here.
Oh, yeah. Warlock,
And
right.
I did some stuff here, and I thought that's some of this stuff was pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty good.
It's all real good.
Yeah.
Did we undercrank any of this, or we just drove the car?
Oh no, this
That's-
is all.
That's Dick there. That's Dick
I think
Moore.
that's
This
Dick.
is all.
This is
This is
all
all
me.
24
Head-on-
frames.
Head-on stuff is all Kurt. Did Dick W in any other movies, Kurt?
Well, Dick doubled me for 22 years.
That's what I thought.
And then, but what we always tried to do was work it like this. Whatever I figured I could get away with, I'd do, and whatever I couldn't, he did.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Look at her.
Now, what was Warden
He's
going
a
to do?
big wrench.
What was he going to
Bash
do?
your head in with the wrench. I guess.
In this movie, it's okay to hit for the good guy to hit the bad guy below the belt.
Yeah.
That's right. Of course.
Conquering.
Let's move this chariot.
Oh, God.
I still may be able to get in 8 holes.
Yep, the plot thickens.
Where were you guys when you were writing this? Where were you in your place there by the?
No, we were at Universal.
We were at Universal. This
Oh,
was
you're-
actually
Universal, yeah.
this script took us longer to write, I think, than any other script that we did.
Really?
It
Yeah,
took us
it
a
took
whole
us-
year to write this
yeah, it
script.
took us a long
We
time.
actually threw out we wrote a draft of this thing and threw the whole thing out.
You're kidding.
We realized
No,
that we made a
Back to
mistake.
the Future is the longest script we ever wrote. That took us 4 years.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say that would
in
have to be
between,
more.
in between, you made another movie there,
yeah,
Bob.
but nothing took us longer to write than Back to the Future. But this did take at least a
this
year.
took a long time
Right.
of us intensively doing it.
But I mean, you guys were. How old were you then? 29?
Well,
28?
yeah, 20, 20,
27,
right?
28.
27, yeah.
Yeah, as great as this movie is, I'm glad I've outgrown it. I don't want to go back and do this anymore. It's fun to see, but
You're right. It's only it's the
great.
raw
not-
energy. The raw
it's,
energy
the
is
raw
what's cool
energy.
about
I
it.
couldn't do it. If
Yeah,
you said
because you couldn't do it. No.
if you said let's go make the sequel, I
don't
couldn't
want
do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I would screw it up.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's too
I mean,
tiring.
I just wouldn't get excited about
That.
this. Let's put the camera here and let's have these 50
Have all
cars
these
smash
cars.
into each other.
Boom, boom.
Pretty heavy driving, huh, girls?
But we missed page 35. Oh, we're here, aren't we? This motherfucker's all right.
Well, we obviously love our own stuff.
It's still pretty funny.
I just think these people
It's pretty
are great.
funny.
I just think it's silly and funny, and some of it's I think darkly.
It's you know what
realistic.
you know why this movie works and why people appreciate it because it's true to its premise and it's just this scrappy little movie that just
It's so American.
and audiences truly appreciate the fact that it didn't sell out not one frame.
No. And it's well, America gets older, but it never changes. It just never changes.
That's right.
I mean, these used to be cowboys, and before that they were gangsters. Then before that they were cowboys. Then they were
Oh, now this. I can't watch this. This is the craziest thing I've ever done in my directing
I can't
career.
believe this either. I can't believe he did this.
I mean,
and that's the not trick.
When
That's
I
not
watch it
trick.
right
That's-
now,
there's no
my
trick.
scrotum shrivels up.
That's not trick.
It's like
Gary Graham.
He had no idea.
didn't have no idea.
Garrett had no idea how close he came to being dead.
I remember because I asked him when I said, "What was it? What were you guys doing?" And he said, "I just had to back up and one guy's gonna drive around
Yeah,
me."
watch that back. That's a
I
wide
mean,
angle
that's
lens.
just crazy. And it's
I
not
was-
trick. It's not
Oh,
backwards
no.
or anything.
No, it's all that actually.
I would
happened.
never do that now. You wouldn't pay me to do that.
Are you there?
16-9. Jeff, come in, please.
That is, I mean, really, when you think about
Well, you
it.
do it with a computer now.
Oh no, I definitely do it with a computer.
Yeah.
I do it. That's what I did in that's how I did the shots with Hanks and Forrest Gump, like with a computer to put him that close to a car.
Well, you did that with Goldie and
Oh yeah,
Meryl.
yeah,
and,
that's right. With the tire,
with the
almost
tire coming into their
right,
face.
Exactly.
Roller skate
I would
on
never
them,
do
boys.
that like that again.
And the paint washed off, Rudy. There's red paint underneath. Which is the red car. See, I can't drive it. It's a red car. Jeff, you've been driving it all day. It's all in your mind, babe. You can do it. Come on. You...
Of course, I love this. I love this.
Jeff, which side of the tracks are you on?
Everybody knows this train.
East.
I mean, this is. Oh yeah. This is a.
Side.
Yeah.
245.
Yeah, it's the 245. Everybody knows about 245.
Of course.
Red cars don't mean shit. There's primer underneath that red paint, gray primer. Now you're really driving a gray car.
A used car salesman trying to.
I know.
Sale now.
I know. It's
he gets
funny.
that.
It's funny.
14
We're gonna lose the lot.
17 feet 9 inches. What do you think, Toby?
That dog was. You know,
Let's do it.
When in doubt, cut to the dog.
Oh yeah.
Let's filmmaking 101.
17, 16, 18 feet 4 inches.
Just building tension by just having people like
look,
just reading off
in a
numbers.
train.
Got a train coming.
17 feet 9 inches. 14.
Now Terry Leonard wanted to do this stunt.
Live.
He
I
wanted
know.
to do this stunt so bad, and we wouldn't let him. Billy Myatt, our effects guy, said there was no reason to have a live human being in the car when it goes over this train. Absolutely none.
But the most heartbreaking thing about this, do you remember the thing about the camera?
No.
Because I every time I put an Aeroflex in we had that Aeroflex right on the center line on the other side of the tracks.
Right.
And the car,
Oh, the car always jumped over.
it hit right in front of it and bounced over, and the camera jammed.
Yeah.
What a
that's-
heartbreaker.
yeah.
And so every time I use an Aeroflex on any movie, I always tell that story. And I say, who loaded this magazine?
I love this. I
They
love the cheat on
always-
the yellow car. I love the yellow car just goes off.
Yeah,
Perfect.
right.
I was like,
We just had the car cabled and sort of did it like a
It
catapult.
was beautifully designed.
Absolutely.
Gag.
And these guys, they did all the math. We took the motor out of this car. They calculated exactly how fast it had to go. And this was a private railroad. It's a mine train, I believe, because
well, that was a great shot there. I love that.
There's the camera. We're right over the top of it, sitting in the road there. And man, I thought, oh my God, what a great shot I've got. And then they come back and say, jam 50 feet in.
Easy, Roy. Easy, Roy.
this is great storytelling to just have them show up in that.
Yeah, but
in
you know,
that
we
van.
had a scene. We shot a scene where we
We
stole it from the
That's
campers.
true.
We cut it out.
That's true. That's right. We had that other scene that we cut out where we had the cars crossing the river. Remember
right,
the Boy
fording the
Scout,
river.
the Boy Scout troop? They were saying, "Oh, it's great to be out here in the wilderness, away from the traffic," and then suddenly, vroom.
That was an insane stunt with all those people there. It's just crazy.
And this is that. Slap the.
Now, Kurt, you remember what
This
you
is
did
it.
to me on this?
I know. I said, Bob.
You talked to me. You said that
He goes,
this is the matter of 100. You said it was a $50 million timing mistake.
I can't remember now how I can't remember. What was it?
You thought you hated the fact that he didn't hit the hammer first.
That's what I said. It's over. You lost. He hits the hammer. Boom! It comes down. He goes, "Wait a minute. It's the redo." Yeah, we talked. I said, "Bob, Bob, are you sure?"
That's right.
Think about this.
You argued that point.
That was the one thing.
You argued it to the point of whether it was the whole movie was going to fail or succeed based on it. I guess you were
I
right.
rest my case.
You were right. I should have listened to you.
There it was. Oh man. Oh God.
Oh, pardon me? Rudy, Barbara.
This is so great. He's just ready to change sides. Just like a lawyer.
Yeah. He just.
That means you can have the biggest dealership in the Southwest.
Now,
I know we've had our different.
this is as far as I saw the movie. I've never seen the movie past the point of the end, what comes up here.
Well, that's it. It's the end.
I've never seen the musical.
Oh, you never seen it?
Where did that come from? I mean, what did that?
Well,
The studios, everybody says, you gotta have a song. You gotta have a song. You gotta
It's
have
actually a
song.
good song.
It is a good song.
It's a.
And it seemed like a country and western song was the right tone for a movie like this. We couldn't suddenly go into rock and roll here.
This is the final, the great final insult when you take the sweet innocent girl and she
The
of course,
movie never gave up.
It never gave up.
It always
Loved
is true to its.
That car. That's
premise.
Yellow primer.
Liar's process.
Well, yeah. Are we gonna live together or not? Are we gonna?
Snooker, the poor little old lady.
This is it. This is Bill and Hillary. When Bill met Hillary. Yeah. There's something that's gonna last. That's right. Oh, this is the song.
This is the song.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard this. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I've heard Buyer Beware.
Yeah. It's great that the movie isn't slicker than it is.
Oh, no.
It's a scrappy little movie.
Yeah. I just think it says. I just love what it has to say about this country. I mean, I just think it's like.
That's right.
That's a pretty great shot here, Bob.
That's a good shot.
Here's all your production. Hey, you guys, it was a blast.
That's
I remember
fun.
that
Yeah.
much. It was a total
How many years
blast.
ago? 21 years?
21 years ago.
22 years?
22. I don't know. Anyway, that was
no,
fun.
we gave we gave our
He
transportation
deserved
coordinator
it.
a full
Yeah.
single card credit there because he deserved it.
Yeah, times are different now. You look at that and you see, and
man.
especially, where your guys' careers have gone, and what we've done with our lives and stuff. It is kind of weird to sit here and watch this.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that's what's so
and
great
remember
about
that stuff.
The thing is, though, we've always wanted to make movies that we ourselves wanted to see.
Yeah,
That's right.
And that's
yeah. And that's it.
that's why they're any good.
Yeah. No, I love the movie. Does it holds all the way to the end? Well,
yeah, but we should trim that shot of him walking out of the corner.
oh, absolutely. I think that's got to go.
I mean, boy, I'm never going to be able to watch the movie again
I'm really
now.
glad we did this and got that straight.
Well, since everybody's paid all this money to get their DVD, we'll have to come out with another version of it, the director's cut, and make everybody buy it again.
Right, but
Oh, we're just kidding,
what, though?
folks. We're not going to do
I
that.
believe it. I was just saying, I believe in what Scorsese said. I don't believe in these director's cuts. I think the movies have to
Live and die.
live in the time that they were made.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to go back and recut used cars.
Well,
Not
no,
for a million
no,
years.
no, no, no.
Not a million
No,
years. I'd do that.
It's got to die on its
It
own.
is what it is.
It is what it
It
is.
is what it is. If you don't like it, go back to your video store and ask for your money back. Tell them I sent you.
Oh man. All right, guys. Cool.
All right.
I'm
Thank you,
out.
Kurt.
Trust me.